In the current MCU, Korg is the best character in that bitch, bro. He's the foot, and I'm so glad he did what we talked about. We're like, if we have Korg narrate like at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say we called it.
We called that shit. We said if Korg narrates at least 5 minutes, this whole is gonna be one of the funniest.
Look, see them hating ass niggas talking, tell them niggas stop it. Move back, baby. Run down, chase them. Off the Berkey, boy, I'm dangerous. I'm in the double R, shit look like a spaceship. Everything is up good. So the folks of my man.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Redacted Show. I'm your host, Feeq or Feeq, with my co-host, the other host, the number 2, the number 1.
Co-host Dana in the building.
Yes, sir. Here on the Redacted Show, we talk anime, manga, however you want to say it, Marvel movies, DC movies, comic books, TV shows, all that jazz. We give good life tips, and we keep it going. Remember to drink water and stay flowing.
I say, got my water right next to me when I left, you know what I'm saying? So, niggas stay hydrated.
Yes, sir.
Especially in this heat.
Ooh, 100-degree weather.
Don't even get me started. I was outside cutting the grass earlier today. I purposely cut it in the afternoon, thinking it was going to be cooler. No, I was still sweating, and the sun was going down. Had my little hat on, everything. Nah,
and it don't make it better with this humidity.
No, it does not.
This
they bleed through the.
You know what I mean?
It was a walkie slush. I drank like two bottled waters and a big thing of that essential water.
Mm-hmm.
Was it essential? Usually that essential water or that body armor water, them big ones.
Okay, yeah.
I drank all 3 of that while I was out there. I was like,
man,
you're thirsty.
Man, yesterday I was out there doing that work where I was at, and I was out there for like 4 hours. I was sweating. They put my ass to work, nigga. They was like, well, I barely got out the car. They was like, hey, we know you can't eat, but come help set up the tents and everything. I said, damn.
That's funny.
Well, I drank like 2 gallons. Like, I legit had like 3 bottles of water at like the very beginning. The next time I looked, I had like, it was like a case. I had like 20 bottles next to me. I said, bro, I'm dying.
Yeah, and like the water I was drinking, it was cold. Like because we have a fridge now in our garage, and all 3 of those water bottles were in there, and I was gulping them things down. Pause. And I was chewing like mint gum, so it just made it even more colder. I was drinking that, and I was like, gotta get through the pain. I don't know what it is about, like, I can't remember the first time I drank like ice cold water with mint gum. It just hits you different. Like it hit your sensations on a different level. I'm like, damn. Ooh, it ain't supposed to be this cold now. I was like, what the hell is going on with my mouth? Pause. But nah, just that sensation it's crazy. It's crazy. But all in all, stay hydrated, niggas. I know it's hot wherever y'all listening at, whether you're in America or whether you're in overseas.
It's probably warm there too.
Unless you're on a different hemisphere, because I think if you're on the southern hemisphere, then it's winter over there technically. But
okay, geography, I see you. Yeah, let them know.
I paid attention. School did good enough. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, can get my degree. But anywho, we this past weekend, we saw some pretty good movies today. We saw Thor Love and Thunder, which was a really good movie. Overall, was pretty much, this will be our like movie review. So we'll just kind of give our overall thoughts at the beginning and then talk about different things we liked and didn't like while going through like the different characters, different theories, maybe like big scenes that we thought in the movie, that we watched in the movie, and just kind of go from there. Spoilers. There will be spoilers said in this movie. I mean, in this review.
This is Thor Love and Thunder. We're talking about the movie. If you haven't seen it, I'm glad that you listened this far. Don't let the door hit you on your way out.
Yes, please. If you are still listening at this point, you've been warned. So
yeah,
we don't need y'all getting mad at us. But anywho, so when Thor died, but
that'd be crazy if somebody's trying to log out. Somebody's trying to get out the shit.
Nah, he ain't died. Another Thor died though, but not him. But so overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I previous to that, it like there was a lot of like mixed reviews about the movie. People were saying it was bad, it was too goofy. Like like people making it seem like the MCU fell off. Where I mean, it's in my opinion, just not even with just Thor Love and Thunder, but the rest, all these other Phase 4 movies, they're just they're doing a lot of like independent stuff, trying to like all tie together. Like they obviously have the end goal in mind. They have the finish. Yeah. They're trying to get the start.
Yeah. It's like it's almost like, even though this is Phase 4, it's like a rebuilding of everything almost. While you do have older characters, it's like we have to reestablish what now in the universe. So it's new rules to things. It's not the old one where it's just like, oh, it's A, B. Now it's like it's A through Z. Yeah. With how they have to do things now. So,
and then it's like I don't really agree with the mindset people are having, like, oh, like if like Phase 4 is just a bunch of mid, it's a bunch of mid. So are we just gonna forget about No Way Home and Shang-Chi? Like, come on now. Like, I may not be the sharpest tool in the tool shed, but those are some good ass movies.
Nah, those are good.
Those are some pretty good movies. So it ain't all just mid. The only mid movie like that was, I would say, that was in Phase 4 as of right now is Black Widow. Yeah. And that shouldn't even be a fucking Phase 4 movie. That should have been dropped when Captain America and Winter Soldier came out.
Yeah. And then this is a sidetrack from everything Marvel. I just have to say this.
Nah, you're good.
Even when people say mid, bro, it's just whenever somebody says mid, I'm like, y'all do know mid is like still average. That's average. It's not bad. It's not bad. Everybody just says mid now to try to say something's bad. I'm just like, all right, I'm like, mid is average. If you want to say something bad, say it's bad.
Yeah. Which is like, I mean, it's fine, but I guess people's mindset, they still high on like the Infinity Saga, and obviously everybody going crazy for that Spider-Man No Way Home movie, which was good. It's still Marvel's, at least Marvel Phase 4's best movie in my opinion. We'll probably do a ranking sometime soon, maybe this episode. Nah, I'm playing. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I do have some gripes about it that we'll get into as we talk about the review of the movie. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like I say, if I had to rate it, and I've seen it twice already as of right now as we're recording.
Damn, nigga got money. Shit, it only been out for like 2 days, 3 days.
I only bought tickets for the first time I seen it. I ain't buying the second tickets. Shout out to whoever that was. They know who they are. They know who they are. But nah, I would say like the movie was about a 7, like 7.5, like which is good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny. Yeah.
Okay. I fuck with that. For me, no, I'm joking. No, yeah, for me, I enjoyed the movie. I feel like I laughed a lot more than I expected to, but the good thing was, I wasn't going to go in this movie with any type of like mindset on like if it should be like a dark type movie or a comedy, but somebody I know, they had tweeted, they were like, make sure, they like, when y'all go watch Thor, if you going into this with the mindset it's going to be like a dark style movie or like some type of like Infinity War style, like you like that type of tone, like where it's kind of like a overbearing tone. They said don't. They said this is a comedy. They said go into it thinking that it's a comedy. So when I saw that, I said, okay, I trust your movie opinion because you kind of think the same way I do. So I said, okay, bet. So I went into it thinking it was going to be a comedy or like Ragnarok, and I really enjoyed it because it was a comedy. So I was laughing the whole time.
It was some good times. And I would say, to your point, what you said about Ragnarok, like my thing is, if you enjoyed Ragnarok, you're more than likely going to enjoy Thor Love and Thunder because it's that same kind of feel, just amplified.
Yes, that's what it was. It's amplified.
That's basically what it was. Like, it's just jokes throughout the whole movie. Some people like it, some people don't. Hey, I'm not mad at you if you didn't like it because obviously different, different strokes for different folks in terms of like what they like in their movies. So I enjoyed it, and I know Feek enjoyed it too. Yeah. But that shit was good.
True. Yeah, but for overall, just my initial like feeling for it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So,
so I guess this part we'll start getting into like the characters, in terms of like their appearances. How did you feel about like we'll just go into Thor. Thor. Okay. I think Thor's character arc was kind of all over the place, but it was on a course because at the beginning you're thinking like, okay, obviously the point of Thor is like he's trying to like find his place
purpose
in the universe, like in the universe, which they kind of, I think like they kind of did that in Ragnarok because that was the whole reason for that. He lost the hammer and was trying to find himself in that, if you think about it. But then at the end, he comes to realize like I don't really need the hammer to be Thor. I'm the god of thunder. Like I can still do this shit. So it's like with this one, it was just like, well, you can go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think for like Ragnarok, it was kind of more so like him finding himself, but it was kind of like it's the same shit you was about to say.
Let's say I was right.
No. I was really just adding on to it. It's really just him finding himself, but in that saga. So I feel like this one is kind of like him finding himself again, but more so outside of being in that war time. Because if you want to classify, I guess you could say it was a war or battle time. Yeah. And this time it's kind of like it's fights going on, but it's more like a lull between big stuff happening.
Yeah. And then to that point, like when they brought up the Korg narration, shout out to my nigga Korg for that narration.
One of the best characters in the MCU, bro.
We'll get to him. But when they were talking about like basically from that point from Ragnarok, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess thought he did find himself, and then all that shit happened, and then he just went to the sunken place, and was just like, well, like what am I doing here? Yeah. Like, and you can kind of tell with that, he was doing fine. And then they obviously had to have a love interest in the movie, so I guess that's why they brought Jane back. Like, well, they were gonna do like the Thor, like the Mighty Thor run in a way, which they did, but it wasn't like a complete it
was like a
1-to-1 story adaptation. But
it was different pieces from it.
Yeah, like they took that concept and idea, but not necessarily like the whole thing. And that was kind of like another thing that I kind of wish they explored on more, but that probably would have just made the movie longer. And but it was fine. That's another thing. We kind of get off topic, but like off the course, but it's fine. Like another thing I kind of thought was questionable was they touched on a lot of things, but they kind of just sped by it. It was like, it's like at the beginning when they introduced Gore's backstory and he just got the sword. Like the sword chose him. I was like, okay, like you're not gonna talk about it just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of just happened. I'm like, you're not gonna expound on that, but okay.
I get why they did that though, for his character. And I'm gonna save it just so we can talk a little bit more about Thor. So another piece for were you done with Thor? My bad.
I mean, pretty much. I kind of just build off of like what you saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the points you were saying, like he was finding himself as his character, because you saw that a lot at the beginning when he was talking to the guards and he was like, and Star-Lord was like, look at who you love. Thor started leaning to the camera, looked at Star-Lord, and kept trying to move out the way.
Yeah,
you see it like that. Like he didn't really have a set. I don't even want to say family because I feel like that's cliche, but like he didn't have a set person beside Korg, and Korg was like the homie. You know what I'm saying?
That's the bro.
Korg is the bro. It wasn't like
that's the Twizzy.
It's like in Thor's mind, he's like, oh, I'm gonna have Korg regardless, but like, where is this other like familial type feeling or like crew type feeling?
Because he had that.
Korg.
Yeah, I guess he had it with the Avengers, but after Endgame, the Avengers basically disbanded. So he was just with the Guardians for a little while. And I mean, he was like, that was cool, but obviously he was still grieving.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what he's looking for. So I like they touched upon that. I like how they kind of touched on like the confusion aspect too, because like even throughout the movie, just him doing certain things, it's like he's trying to figure out how he really feels about everything around him. Like even certain people he meets or talks, he's trying to figure out how do I really connect with these people. Because then he even said it to Jane in the movie. He was like, I just shut off, or I was kept everybody arms length away because I didn't want to be hurt anymore. Yeah. So he's pretty much just like, I don't know really. He's like, I'm gonna help people, I'm gonna be cool with you, but I don't know how to really feel about people anymore because I've lost so much.
And then even in those scenes like that, like it was almost like, we want to be serious, but let's throw a joke in there, and then it just kind of undermines it. I can see why people were upset about that. It's just like, damn, nigga, like, can we be serious for 5 minutes? Like in that arm scene, he was like I gotta keep people at arm's way,
and he was a little farther than an arm width,
and then he just did that. I'm like, bruh. It was funny, but I'm just like, okay, this is what we doing. All right.
Yeah. So for his character, at least, I liked how they kind of talk, even though they didn't go full in depth with it. I kind of like how they kept bringing that concept up with him. Like, I'm really trying to, I guess, feel again, or like really trying to find this purpose or why I do what I do again. Yeah. So I liked how they brought that out.
Feel shitty.
Yeah, feel shitty. He said,
I'd rather feel shitty about something than not feel anything.
I said, damn,
that's deep.
That is. Some of y'all need to feel shitty.
Yeah,
punk ass.
Nah, but overall, I would say Thor was good in terms like his power scaling. I kind of expected them to do a version of Rune King Thor, like in terms of his power level, but I don't think they did that. It was just more so like costume based because he had he had 4 different costumes throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, and then when he put on the Rune King ish looking suit, I was like, okay, we get somewhere. Yeah, and nothing happened. I said, damn.
Yeah, nothing really happened, but I mean, it's fine. That was cool. I also liked. I guess we can kind of jump off Thor and then go into Mighty Thor, Jane.
Oh yeah, Jane Foster. Jane Foster.
It's kind of good seeing her again because the last time we saw her was Thor: The Dark World, and I was like, damn, it's been a minute.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, 6 months, 11 days. I don't forgot what date he said. I'm like, damn, nigga, remember to the T. But I like how they did her character. I thought they did. I thought Natalie Portman, the actress, did really well in that role. I thought she acted great. It was just like in some of the scenes, you could tell she was still relatively new to being Thor, because obviously when she realized that she had cancer and went to New Asgard to get basically kind of look at the hammer and see. Also, by the way, so like the reason why those shards of hammer were still there is because that was where Thor and Loki and them were at when Hela pulled up on them. Yeah, like, that was that same location. So
yeah, pretty much they just cut the ground underneath it and put it.
Yeah, they're like, we can't move this, so we just gonna make an exhibit around it, make a whole city around it. But yeah, that was cool. I liked how. Because in the comic, it's kind of reversed in terms of like her relationship, I guess, with Mjolnir. Because in the movie, she goes to the hammer because she is calling to her, obviously, and she's thinking the shit helping her.
Yeah, she's thinking it's actually killing her. Yeah.
Whereas in the comics, it's doing the reverse. Like it's purging her alive. It's keeping her alive. But so that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to. It was a lot of things I didn't expect they did with her character.
Yeah, but they kind of did it as like a parallel to Gore, because with Gore, when he got the Necro Sword, obviously it was a parallel between those two because the sword was infecting him and killing him, whereas in the comics, it wasn't doing shit. He just grabbed it and was basically going ballistics. But Yeah, so I get that. I think that was just more like a parallel between their characters, and we could kind of see that at the end when they're both
on
their deathbed, dying,
their death water.
Yeah, so I like that. And yeah, I liked her character. I liked her, I guess, relationship. I thought like their kind of her and Thor's dynamic was a bit funny. Obviously, it was just like, yeah, damn, the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster. And just that. And I also liked how they did a little montage of like their little relationship. But if you kind of think about it in terms of like the time frame of when that happened, it could have been like their relationship couldn't have been that long, because
it was from Thor to
Dark World to basically before Avenger, like before Infinity War, like right before there. No, before Ragnarok.
Yeah, no. What it was? Didn't they break up right after the Dark World?
They were together for a little bit, and then it was. I can't remember.
It wasn't long though. Maybe
it wasn't
months.
that long.
Maybe a few months. Maybe a year, but I don't think it was. A year.
And then obviously during that scene, we see that Thor, unbeknownst to him, enchanted the hammer to basically protect Jane, which is how she's even able to lift the hammer and kind of put it back together, and how it's still able to call her because of that enchantment that Thor did. So I was like, wow. Because I was thinking like, because that was another thing that I thought they just kind of rushed. Like
the enchanting of the...
Well, not that, but just like when she went to New Asgard,
and then it showed it started rising.
Showed the thunder, and then I was like, so we not gonna see her transform?
Oh, for the first time at least?
Yeah, I was like, damn. So I'm pretty sure that's a deleted scene somewhere. I think according to the director and like other actors in the movie, they were saying like there's a lot of deleted scenes. So when
I can see it,
yeah,
throughout the movie I could tell.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that sequence is a deleted scene. I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure there's some footage in the trailer that's not in the movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I'd have to pull up the scene after the episode, but I know one scene that I saw in the trailer, and I was like, "This hoe's not in here," and I was waiting to see that hoe.
Yeah, but I like that. I like their dynamic. I like her little relationship with Valkyrie. And speaking of Valkyrie, I know Valkyrie, that actress, she was doing good in her role per usual. Like, obviously, being the ride or die nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, she was king of Asgard, but you could tell like she wasn't really fucking with that shit. Like, it's just paperwork. She's like, damn, this is what I gotta do.
She's at paperwork and
she been doing that for basically 5 years or a few years at this point, because definitely after Endgame. And I think at the point of that, in Thor Love and Thunder, it's 2026. So it's been some years. But yeah, she's like, damn, nigga, I'm trying to be out in the field. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. Yeah, and I'd say for me, with Jane Foster, thinking about her character, I enjoyed her character. I do feel like they rushed a few things. I don't like how they didn't have the hammer heal her, but they did. I know why they got rid of her character, which is kind of dumb. Cause I feel like this is kind of like the thing they're about to do with Thor. I feel like this may be the last one, but they might, if they do one more Thor movie, they're going to do it again, where somebody in Thor's life has to die. That's why I said at the end of the movie, I was like, for the Avengers, even like before Endgame, Infinity War, if you look at it up to now with everybody's movie, the person who's went through the most like shit is really Thor. Like most were like people he knows are dying, or that character knows are dying, or like just bad shit is happening, is Thor. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Can this nigga catch a break?
Now with Jane, because she ended up in Valhalla due to one of the end credit scenes, it is plausible for her to come back. Yeah, because we learned this from Moon Knight. just because you're in like another plane in terms of like the afterlife doesn't mean you're permanent. You can't come back because technically, like Mark was dead, but he was in like another dimension, and they were able to basically revive him. So maybe since Jane is in the Valhalla realm, which is still part of the 9 realms, she possibly could come back as like Mighty Thor again or Valkyrie, because I think in the comics she's a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
In that little Valkyrie core, so she's there.
Yeah,
and I know they'll if she wants to come back, they'll find a way for her to come back. Either in like another Thor movie or like maybe a different Avengers project.
Yeah, maybe Secret War. Yeah. It just depends, but more on her character. It's I like the design, everything. I like the dynamic, how there was like at the very beginning, the dynamic between her and Thor, really up until they got to the Shadow Realm, their awkwardness with each other, because they were trying to figure out how to really conversate and how to really go about their relationship now. Because even though they both still obviously liked each other, there was like, okay, this is still kind of like a filling out, even though it's not a filling out period. That's how they were making it seem. So I really enjoyed that. And then one thing I feel for this movie, I think so far with all the phases, I think this had some of the best acting. To me, some of the best acting. Just think about the other movies. I think this, Spider-Man, and maybe Shang-Chi. I think those 3 had the best acting so far.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like a double-edged sword, because where the acting is good, I'll say it's kind of lacking in like plot, because in the movie. In Thor Love and Thunder, they basically use the kids as a major plot device, because Gore knows, like, if I take these kids, they not just gonna let me have these niggas. So Thor and them are obviously gonna come after me, which you dealt with, which is what Gore was trying to do to get the Stormbreaker to use the Bifrost to open up the gates of eternity, which ended up happening, and
yeah.
So I could tell, like, as soon as he got them kids, I was like, yeah, this is probably the main plot of the movie.
Yeah, but
I was like, okay, I'm along for the ride. Can't jump off the ship yet,
Yeah, it just depends. But just all in all, for her character, Jane Foster's character, I just needed a little bit more. I wouldn't say screen time of her as Thor, but just something. It was missing something.
I guess depth, because she just became. Sorry, she kind of just became.
She was Thor for like a month. I don't even think it was a month, maybe a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And even Valkyrie joked about it. She was like, yeah, she's new with all this, and that's another thing they played on with the movie, saying like, oh, I got thinking about my new tagline that I should say when I'm fighting a villain.
And you could tell she was new just from that, and like the different questions she was having. Like, she was like, "What's the Necrosword? Like, what's an omnipotent city? Like, what's eternity?
Yeah,
like,
all that stuff.
Like, damn, bitch." Stop asking all these questions.
Hey man, she was Thor. She didn't know about the history.
Yeah, my thing is, because in the comics and more on her character, the reason why she became Thor is because in the comics, Thor Odinson was unworthy, so he wasn't able to pick up the hammer. That's why he had the axe, and she, in the meantime, was able to pick it up because she was worthy and became Mighty Thor, and was Mighty Thor for a good minute, because we ain't had no Thor. So obviously somebody got to do something. So that's why she became Mighty Thor. So I'm thinking, like, at least in the MCU, they could have built on that in the immediate after, I would say, like, post Infinity War saga, like, especially that part where Thor was just kind of down and out about himself. Like, he kind of felt himself unworthy, which is how
he was fat.
Yeah, fat, and just, Stormbreaker is broken. But I mean, she still could have found a way. I don't know. Just like you said, it just didn't. I wasn't able to connect with her character fully as Thor, because it was just like she only been Thor for, like you said, a month.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah, I connected more with the regular, like her as Jane Foster than her as Thor.
More as Thor.
Yeah, so that's one thing I kind of wish they added more in. And then talk about the Necro, so I guess we go to Gore.
Yeah, go to Gore.
The other thing I was gonna say earlier with Gore, like when you talked about them not explaining the them not explaining almost failed. Them not explaining the Necro sword at the beginning, or pretty much that wasn't Noel. Side note, Noel is the person who originally has the Necro sword and has he pretty much the god of the symbiotes. Yeah. So that's the connection between the Necro sword, symbiotes, and all that. But that was just a side note. That was we already know that wasn't Noel on the ground. So that was just some random god or somebody else who had it, who probably found it. But I kind of get why they didn't do a full in-depth thing of saying this is by Noel and this is. And why they just kept it to the Necro sword is used to kill gods. I know why they kept it like that, because that regular person, their brain would have shut off probably.
Well, I'm not even saying explain no. I'm just saying he's about to die. The sword comes out of nowhere. Boom. He's like, okay, I gotta kill. I just get this mindset of I gotta kill all these guys. Fuck these niggas. It's just okay. It just went from A to Z real fast in that instance. I'm not saying you got to explain no, because like you said, obviously the average watcher is not going to know who that is, and I'm not expecting them to do that. I'm just saying from that time jump, they just kind of name dropped it oh yeah, we just killed a guy who had the Necro sword. It was okay, we're not gonna explain what that is a little bit more.
They changed that from the comics too, because in the comics originally they did have that battle, but instead of I don't know what that god name was, but whatever, it was a random god in the comics, but that random god that was supposed to be the good one, quote unquote, he beat the one with the Necro sword, but he was dying, and he was like, Gore, help me, because Gore saw the battle happening, and his daughter and family had already died right before then. He was like, Gore, help me, and then Gore was like, aren't you the god of XYZ? And he was like, and he pretty much was saying almost the same thing, but it was more so an angry tone than more so a praying or pleading tone. He was like, nigga, you fucked me over all this stuff. I've been praying to y'all. He was like, the nigga was like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck if you're dying. Then he saw the sword and killed him. So that was the difference. So I get kind of why they kind of played it different, just so you know that he's a god butcher, quote unquote. Yeah. But because that was the only time we really saw him kill a god. If you think about it, that was the only time you saw him kill a god. Every other time was just showing the aftermath, when they showed the little screens on the Guardian ships, and they showed different gods dead or screaming, or they showed old dude, the behemoth, I forgot his exact name, right, the guardian of some thing, but pretty much that was the only time you saw him kill a god. Yeah, well, like you said, that was the only time we saw him do that. Everyone else was aftermath. Yeah, it was aftermath, and then after that it was just the fights we saw him in. So I kind of get why they did it. That's the one gripe I do have with the movie, and I'll just say it now. I feel like with Gore's character, just because he's such a big Thor character, in essence with this movie, he worked, but he didn't work, right? So he worked because the way they wrote him. But in reality, he should have been way bigger than what he is. He should have been way bigger than what he is, one. He should have had a lot more talking points. Because a lot of times he talked, it was like responses almost. It wasn't like him talking. Yeah. It was like him doing responses, then the scene would cut. And I'm like, damn, nigga, he said the one paragraph and he done talking. And then after that, it's like, he's such a big Thor character. You shouldn't kill him off in one movie. Yeah, I understand. Beat him. I don't even understand. Beat him. I would have let him win something and leave. But I wouldn't have killed him just because he's such a big character. For people that don't read the comics, you got to think it took 3 Thors, 3 different versions of Thors to fight him, and they still lost. And after that, the only reason Thor won is because Gore made a bomb out of the Necro sword and something else. It was about to go off, but Thor, I forgot which, it was either Mighty Thor, one of them absorbed it. I forgot which exactly.
Nah, it was Thor with the It was regular Thor, but he had like the Odin Force and the Necro Sword.
So pretty much he absorbed the darkness from the Necro Sword. He had that as on. Just think of it as like armor. It was pretty much just dark force on him, and he had 2 Mjolnirs in his hand, and that's the only way he was able to beat the fuck out of Gore.
Yeah. So I didn't really kill him, just stop him. Yeah. But
so that's why I was like, it's so much more. It's so many more lines. Like when I was like, that's another thing. I know I'm going on a tangent right now, right? But that's another thing. I wanted him to drop some heat. Like he said, maybe 1 or 2 lines. I was like, okay, that's some heat. But it was a lot more he could have been. He could, like really his like quote bag is like really should have been on Thanos level, but they fucked it up. That's why I was like, I feel like there's a lot of deleted scenes with him talking.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess we'll see when they release him, but they definitely did nerf him. But I think as though it was on like if he's too overpowered, it would have just amplified the fact that he really don't belong in this kind of movie, like in this tone of movie. So it was almost a good thing that he was not as OP as we would have liked him to be.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like for this movie, with the way they wrote him, it fits now. But if I could have another way, I would have made it. I would have made it slightly less funny than a little more. I just would have made the movie longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I seen like other, like, because I seen kind of complaints about like how Gore really doesn't fit in here, because Christian Bale like acted his ass off. Like he played that role great. Like
no, that role was
he did his damn thing with that. I was not thinking about no damn, because when they first showed Gore and how he looked, people were complaining that he didn't look like how he did in the comics. That was the last thing on my mind watching that movie.
I did not care about.
I didn't care about that shit. But he did a role good. But to your point, like if he was just more like overpowering like he was in the comics, it would have magnified the fact that like, why is a nigga like this in a Marvel comedy, basically? Like there's like he don't fit.
Yeah.
And even he had some like funny lines, like when he was when the kids were trapped in that little jail, that he came out, he was like, hey, I'm like basically like I'm gonna cut this nigga head off too. Y'all was just laughing at the shit earlier. It was just funny.
That was crazy.
And then he threw it at him. But that was good. I also like his fight scenes with Thor and them. Like he was still whooping his ass. And it still technically took 2 Thors to beat him. Yeah, with
2 Thors and a Valkyrie. So shit, might as well say 3 Thors for the sake of it.
Well, I'm just saying, like in the scene where they were in the
the last one.
Yeah, the last. Scene.
Yeah.
So I guess that was their excuse as to like keep it
as close to the source as possible.
Without going through time travel shit, and just make it more convoluted with that. So. Because they were probably like, well, we got to have a number of Thors to beat him. Otherwise, they, like, comic book readers going to be mad at us. Yeah. Like, oh, Jane Thor? Bet.
Yeah, hey, true.
Bring her on the team.
You know what was one thing that was real cool? I really enjoyed this. If y'all a lot of people may not have noticed, but if you're able to watch the movie again, every time you see Gore, just his eyes, his silhouette and his face makes a skull.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that too.
So
that
every time he would pop up and it was just his eyes glowing and a little bit of his head, it made the silhouette of a skull. Mm-hmm. And then you saw his face fully come in. I was like, okay, I don't know who thought of doing this, but that hoe is hard.
Yeah, that was hard. Like every time he was on the screen, like it was menacing, and Christian Bale did that shit. And like you said, and there was another thing like I saw after the movie, with there's a possible like a deleted scene of, because you remember after he got the sword, and when he went to New Asgard, you could tell that there was like scars on his religious marks. Well, apparently there's a deleted scene where he mutilated his body to like cut him off, like to scratch him off, because he's basically like, I don't trust the gods or all that stuff. Yeah. So I guess there's a scene out there where he did that, but Disney and Marvel was just like, yeah, too dark. Cut it out.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene would have been hard.
It would have been,
because I'm thinking about how it would have looked. That nigga would have been in some fucking hut or cave.
Yeah, just fuck these niggas. And then that scene could have went great because it was a scene where, well, not a scene, but like the scene where Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're going through like the different pictures of all the gods he's killed. One of them is like a scene from the comics where he killed his people's gods and had them like strung up, like the ones that had him hanging. They could have had that scene and him in the room where the gods are hung up. It's like, and he's just cutting his shit off, like cutting it.
That would have been,
and you know, with the sword. And yeah, I like the effects that they had. I liked the camera angles. I even liked the fight scene when they were in the Shadow Realm.
Oh, how
it was all pitch black. Pitch black. And,
and the only time it was light, it showed color. Yeah, that was hard.
There were some questionable CG scenes during that fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the one where Valkyrie was fighting some monster. Like it looked like it went from real life to like a scene from Frankenweenie. I'm like, I don't know, but that's what it looked like to me.
I have to rewatch. I'm probably
and even the second time next week because when I first saw it, I was like, "Am I tripping?" Like the CG don't look. It don't. It looks good, but it looks like obviously it's animated, but it looked like an animated movie.
It looked overly.
It changed from overly animated.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know if this was on purpose or on accident.
I'll have to rewatch.
And the second time, it was the same. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like it was like this is me nitpicking, but it was just like a minor thing that I noticed.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm tripping, but that's just what I noticed. And I was like, this looks like some shit from Frankenweenie or something, or Norman.
The only CG scenes that I could think of where I was like, no, the only CG scenes I saw that were maybe, I wouldn't even say questionable, or maybe the helmets, when they did the helmets.
Yes, that was another one. I was like, this shit is obviously fake. Like, especially when Thor changed to his Rune King shit and he had his helmet on. I was like, this shit is ugly as hell.
Yeah, so that was the only time I was like, okay, this is CG looks questionable. But a lot of the scenes or a lot of stuff that I saw that I thought was gonna look bad looked way better than it did. So so for me, the CG it was straight.
Yeah, the CG straight was for the most part. But like even with the helmet scene, it looked ugly in the trailer. So and even it didn't change. In the movie, my mindset didn't change. I was like, yep, it's still ugly. But I'm glad he took that shit off and kept it off. But other than that, that was fine. Korg, real nigga. Obviously, Korg he was the comedic device.
Korg is the best
movie.
character in the MCU. In the current MCU, Korg is the best character in that bitch, bro. He's and I'm so glad he did what we talked about. We were like, if we have Korg narrate like at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say, we called it.
We called that shit. We said if Korg narrates at least 5 minutes, this hoe is going to be one of the funniest movies ever. That nigga was narrating. I was dying laughing.
Yeah, and it was funny how he kept getting Jane's name wrong. He's like, Jane Futter or something like that. Like Jodie Foster.
Bro, at the beginning, he was like, we have a tell of Thor. And then he talked about the people that died. He was like, his mom died.
His mom died.
His dad died. Wait, he said his brother
died.
He said his brother died. His brother died again.
And again.
I said, yo.
Like, God. And it's like, it's another thing where I can see where people were mad because it's like, these are some serious shit and they just joking about this shit. Like, they joking about niggas dying.
That nigga said he met his sister. She blew up his world.
Yes. I'm like, bruh. He had a sister. He broke his hammer. He blew up Asgard. He was like, what have I done? And then the workout montage was funny. Basically, most of the trailers were at that first 25.
Yeah, it was the first, like 30, 20 minutes.
Like 20, 15 minutes. And
I enjoyed that. I'm glad. Well, I didn't see a lot of trailers for... surprisingly, I didn't see a lot of trailers for Thor. Like, I was going to watch some more, but none of them... I guess I was searching the wrong places. They wouldn't pop up. I said, okay, bet.
Yeah, so the one thing I liked with the trailers, like, they didn't... At least to me, they didn't reveal a lot of the plot.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad about that too. Because going into this, I didn't know what the end goal was for Gore.
Yeah.
I was like, nigga, I just know he about to be fighting this.
Yeah,
nigga.
I know he here.
I don't know what he trying to do. So I'm glad.
Like from the trailers, I just knew who was gonna be in the movie. Yeah. That was it. I know he gonna be here. I know she gonna be here. I know she gonna be here.
And I know this nigga probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad about that. And I guess we go to some
different scenes. I guess the scene where they went to Omnipotent City.
Yeah, I was about to say that because I was about to say who I thought was gonna die was Zeus, but that nigga ended up living. He just got a burnt hole in his chest, surprisingly.
Well, I thought he was gonna die too, and because I kind of predicted he was gonna die in when we talked about the trailer.
Yeah,
but I thought Gore was gonna bust in there and just slat everybody.
I'm not gonna lie. The whole time they were in Omnipotent City, and he kept saying Gore doesn't know we're here. Gore doesn't know. I was like, this nigga's about to bust through that window any second. Yes, I was like, he gonna bust through this window. And
that would have been great. That would have been a great scene. They did that.
If they were able to do that. Have like Gore swoop in real fast, kill Zeus maybe. He don't even got to steal his thunderbolt, but just if he stole his thunderbolt, that would have been cool because I would be like, I don't know what the fuck he about to use with this, but that's live.
Yeah.
But if he was able to swoop in, kill Zeus, and then jump into a shadow, and everybody's like, just like, what the fuck happened? Like all the gods,
everybody would have been freaking out.
That would have been. I would have said that'd be top 10 scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have went crazier than the scene of Wanda just going ape shit on the Illuminati.
Yeah, if he did that, I would have screamed in the theater.
Yeah, but obviously we didn't get it. And then another thing to like, I guess Gore's mission, like it's nice that they tied Eternity and all of them in it. Mm-hmm. Like it's nice that we got to see them or see Eternity, but they really didn't have to do that. Like they could have just did they could have took the God Bomb idea, the God Bomb idea from the actual like Gore storyline.
Yeah,
because it's like that's a joke in itself. He got the God of Bombs to make him a God Bomb.
True,
and it's like what bigger joke can you make out of that in a movie that was already filled to the brim with jokes? Like, yeah, that was definitely a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
but
now that I think about it, yeah. Because even when they showed, like, when they first mentioned Eternity in there, I was like, okay, we're bringing in Eternity, the Living Tribunals. Because in that little area room, I don't know what the fuck that was. I forgot the name they gave it. The end of Eternity, the beginning of Eternity. They showed Statue of Eternity, one of the Celestials. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was
somebody else. It was the green one.
It was Death. It was the Statue of the Watcher.
It was the Living Tribunal.
The Living Tribunal. I think I saw a picture of Ershin the Judge.
They had
it was some celestial.
It was a green. It was like green or something. I don't know.
I think it was green because of like the material.
The color. Oh, color. We'll just say Ershin the Judge. It may not have been, but it was a celestial.
I mean, there was a celestial.
And it was like one. I think it was like one other. But yeah, whenever that room was, I did not like really when he got there. I did not expect him to make it in there and meet Eternity. Because once they showed him, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Because when the shit was open, I'm like, "Okay, like end him."
I was like, "Kill him!" And then he just walked. He walked in. I'm like, "Bruh!" Like he walked through, and then they showed everybody. Everybody else still in the room went there, and I was like, "Why are we showing Eternity?" That's really like for people that don't know. Like in Marvel comics or Marvel comics, if you pretty much Eternity is like you don't see Eternity every comic. Eternity is like rare cases. Like really, the only times I've really read where Eternity pops up is like you're resetting the entire universe. Yeah, or it's like some wild, like some of the most wild shit happens.
Yeah,
like him and the Living Tribunal, those two you don't see a lot. You see them once every blue moon, and that moon better be like blue as hell.
Eternity is at the physical embodiment of the universe. So like we say, you don't really see them a lot unless it's some universal shit. Yeah. Like obviously in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline in the comics, then you see them because obviously Thanos is going crazy.
Yeah, he's literally deleting half of the universe. So there's eternity and death there.
Yeah.
Living Tribunal, that nigga showed up in, I forgot what comic book run.
Well, he showed up in that one too, but to kind of judge Thanos and was like, I think to judge them, judge Thanos, but he just murked everybody. But yeah, back to that. It was nice that they introduced. I was like, oh shit, Eternity, all right. But it's like just after watching, I'm like, they didn't have to do that. Like they could have, if they wanted to keep this idea of jokes and banter. They could have just played on the God Bomb, like the God Bomb plot.
Yeah,
and like that's a missed opportunity. But I'm not mad that they went the Eternity route. You know, I mean, we got to see him.
Yeah, we got to see him.
It was good.
But then they made him that wishing well.
Yeah.
So I was expecting him to say something too when he was like Eternity XYZ. Really, he didn't say nothing. He didn't say his wish because it just happened. But when he was first started talking, I thought when they first got in there, I'm rambling. When they first got in there, I thought Eternity was gonna say something. Nothing happened. I was like,
he was just there.
I was like, okay, this is new. Meditating.
Meditating indeed. But that scene was nice. Back to Omnipotent City, you know, we got to see a lot of different gods. We got to see Bast, the Panther god, and I'm gonna go out on the air
right next to her.
Yeah, I would say was the basically like the god of Namor and his people's tribe, because you know from different reportings, we know that the Atlanteans aren't gonna be technically Atlanteans. Like they'll be Atlanteans, but they'll be
Mayan / Aztec descent. Yeah. One of those. We don't know exactly.
Like based off of Mayan Aztec culture. So their god is going to be based off that too. And from the skin, from the saw, I don't even think I said a sentence. But the god that was next to Bass looked like one of the Atlanteans that I saw in like some of the first look photos of when they showed Namor and like someone else. Like another Atlantean, and how they had blue skin, and the person next to him had that god had bluish, like teal skin.
Yeah, it had teal skin. Then they had on like I don't know the name of the headdress for Aztec or Mayan culture, but it had on that headdress you've seen if you've seen different movies.
And it looked similar to the one that Namor was having in like the other first look photos of that.
Yeah, so if it wasn't a Jaguar god, it was goddamn Kukulkan Khan or somebody. Quetzal Khan, I forgot the exact one of those names.
I thought you was being racist for a second. I was like, no. I was like, damn.
No. I played this game called Smite. They got different gods on there.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to say Feeq.
Quetzal Khan or Kukulkan Khan is the god of wind. I think wind something. It looked like a dragon.
But yeah, speaking of dragons, we saw one in that Omnipotent City, and I think that was like a slight Easter egg wink at the Shang-Chi gods.
Oh, yeah.
That? And then it was funny when we saw like the that dumpling god.
Oh, yeah.
The god of
the god of dumpling. He said,
yeah. And what was funny was that was the do you remember that Disney short?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The nigga eat the dumpling.
I think that was a slight Easter egg at that little Disney short. Obviously, we saw Korg and them's god.
Yeah,
that Easter egg, when he was sitting on that throne of scissors. That was like a sly Game of Thrones Iron Throne Easter egg.
Yeah, rock paper scissors.
Yeah, I was like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
and that's that's funny because that's how Korg introduced himself. Want to play a game of rock paper scissors?
Yes. He did.
Don't choose paper.
But that scene was crazy. I guess in terms of that, we pretty much talked about everything. We can go into the end credit scene. So, before that, the ending.
Oh yeah, the ending. After they got to Eternity, as we said earlier, pretty much Thor was talking to Gore, saying, you don't know what love is, or you need to find love. That's what you're looking for. And pretty much Thor was saying that, but he was also saying it to himself too. So Jane dying, and then I really thought I thought they were about to do some full Disney stuff, and Gore was about to be like heal Jane Foster. I really thought they were about to do some full Disney shit. So that's why for one split second I was like, I wouldn't be mad if they healed her and she gets to be Mighty Thor. But pretty much Gore, back on track, Gore pretty much wished for his daughter to be back because she died in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So she came back. She has powers. She has God powers pretty much. She shoot laser beams out of her eyes. For what we know for right now, we don't know what else she can do. Probably fly or some shit.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much, and then the end credits, pretty much now Thor's taking care of her as his daughter.
Yeah,
his
and
adopted
actually,
daughter.
That actress who was playing that daughter is Chris Hemsworth's real life daughter.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I did not know that. Yes. I think his son was the boy that was running in the beginning when it was like Young Thor, Mighty Thor. When he was running through the woods, I think that was his son. I think that's what somebody said. I'm not 100%, but I think somebody said that's his son.
But
well, shit, he got the whole family in there because
he did, because his brother was playing himself in that little play skit.
Yeah, with
which
Matt
was
Damon.
funny. Yeah, with Matt Damon and that other lady, and had I think I saw somewhere where Gore's son, or one of Gore's, not Gore, Christian Bale's children was like one of the kids that was in the people like in the little thing that was captured. Speaking of kids, so when the hell did Heimdall have a son? When the fuck did Heimdall have a son?
I thought I was the only one because when he popped up with those eyes, I said, Heimdall? I said, you alive, nigga? I said, did you get transferred to a kid?
No, it was like
Heimdall's son. I said, bro.
When the fuck did he have a son?
I said, when the fuck did he leave his post?
When did he have a family?
Yeah, did they show the wife too?
Yeah,
I said,
like, what?
I said, now how old was his son? Was like 11. No, we'll say 14.
So that son, like, what the?
How old his son do you think Max was? 14? Maybe. I don't even think he was 14.
Talking about
on the show, on the movie. How old do you think?
He had to have been like max 15 years old. Max.
And when did Heimdall die? He died Infinity War.
Yeah.
He died beginning of Infinity War because it wasn't Endgame. He died before. He died before that because they were the first ones to die. And that was how many years ago?
8, or definitely less than like at least 6.
6. I don't remember this nigga having. It's not even about remembering because he didn't. But like they snuck that in there. I guess that nigga about to be a young Avenger. Fuck it.
I guess
because they wouldn't have showed
him and Thor's adopted daughter now.
Yeah, that was interesting. That definitely was a what the fuck moment. That was one of the few what the fuck moments out of that whole movie.
I was like, what? That was another thing that they just sped through. I'm like, so we're not gonna talk about this? Like, okay. But that was outside of that, like that was cool. I also like the scene where Thor basically bestowed like the power of Thor in all the kids. That was funny.
No, he was like,
so I'm like, how the fuck are these kids gonna fight all these basically these shadow demons?
Yeah, for real. And I kind of like how they made the shadow demons. Kind of, I feel like they tried to make them look like symbiotes without looking like symbiotes. So I was thinking the same. So I kind of like how they did it, even if they weren't trying to. They did it.
Yeah,
I feel like they did that. But yeah, when he gave them the power, when he was like, gives them the power of Thor for a few seconds. He's like, just for a little bit. I like how he added that in there real quick. He was like,
he said, don't keep it.
He said, just for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But nah, that girl with that bunny, the little bunny, she went crazy. She's going crazy. I thought that was live. That was funny.
Mm-hmm. I also like how they slightly like canonized werewolves with that one kid who was like, I'm a Lycan.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm not Asgardian, I'm a Lycan. And someone was like, I forgot whatever the gold people race.
Yeah, where goddamn Adam Warlock is.
Yeah. I was like, okay, werewolf by night.
Literally.
Now, overall, I guess that was pretty much it. In terms like we were about to get into like the end credit scene, where they showed Hercules, and I was like, okay. I'm thinking if they make, because now they're just setting up like the Avengers versus the gods, which sounds live. Hey, we gotta see that. But it's either if he comes back, I'm thinking he's either gonna be in
like Hercules or Thor.
Hercules.
Oh, okay.
If he comes back in another project, he'll probably be like in a Thor 5, and it's Thor versus Hercules, and then they ultimately swam to be on the Avengers or something. Because he's like a big character in the comics.
Yeah. Ain't him and Thor best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they've had adventures together, and like obviously Thor knows who Hercules is.
Yeah. Because
I think he name dropped him in the movie.
Yeah, he
like,
did, right? Yeah, when they were like, we're gonna go to Omnipotent City, and then he was like, He was like, yeah, the ruler, the oldest god, Zeus. And then he was just talking about like different heroes.
He was like, we got to get Ra. We got to get someone else, Hercules.
We got to get the champion Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if they'll do, well, they're setting up Avengers versus Gods. It depends on if they do it in a full Thor movie or if they do it in they wouldn't do an Avengers movie for that. I know they wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
But
it'd probably be like either Thor or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, one of those. It just depends on who directing. Because if they do comedy again, I don't know how that will fit for a battle type. Because even though this was the God, like Thor Love and Thunder / the God Butcher, this was very much -- gore for the movie.
Yeah.
This was very much a Thor movie with gore on the side, taking notes.
Yeah.
So for that battle type movie, they'd have to do a different type of flow for it.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be as much comedy, especially. And then how they try to introduce him, like he's all they did. Hercules, at the end, he was like playing that epic music in the background, like he about to go whoop everybody ass. So yeah, they'd have to make it a little more, I wouldn't say serious, but a little more fight heavy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously we got the scene where Jane Foster is in Valhalla, so there's the possibility that she could come back. But other than that, I'd say we pretty much talked about everything. I mean, we enjoyed it. If I had to rate it, I'd probably say like a 7. I don't think it's better than Doctor Strange, in my opinion. I think Doctor Strange set up more things in the future, but I don't know. Like I enjoyed both movies, but I'd had to give Doctor Strange like the slight edge. But outside of that, I enjoyed it. My co-host enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, they call me co-host. Nah, yeah, we are co-hosts. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, for me, what'd I say? Because right after the movie, I put on my IG. I give it around. For the first watch. I haven't watched it twice, like Dana. For the first watch, at least, I give it a 7.5. I said it could be a 7 or it could be an 8, depending on how you look at it. So I give it a 7.5. I really enjoyed it. I think I liked it better than. I think it's way funnier than Ragnarok. I'll have to watch them both back to back to Sphere for Thor movies. I'm talking about Thor movies right now, not Phase 4. Mm-hmm. Just Thor movies. I have to rewatch both of them to see where I put them. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie all in all. I think now we can get into our get in our bag.
Yes, sir. Time to get in our bag with our get in our bag questions. So Feeq will read them and we'll go ahead and get in the discussion.
Yeah, the first get in our bag question was rank the Phase 4 movies. So currently in Phase 4 MCU, we have Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow. So just rank them from, in your opinion, worst to best. We're just going to say, we're not going to debate with each other. You're just going to say what you think. Okay. If you want to give a spiel why, you got
worst is definitely Black Widow.
Yeah, both of us is Black Widow. But if you got a reason to think why you want to say it, you got 10 seconds to say why you ranked it.
All right.
But just if you want to see the list.
Yeah, I gotta see the list.
That's all.
So
this is Dana's ranking them.
Me ranking them worst, basically worst to first. I'm gonna go Black Widow, Eternals, Doctor Strange. No, Thor, then Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, Shang-Chi and then Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home is the best.
Okay.
And will probably stay that way until Black Panther.
Okay, I fuck with the list. Mine's pretty much the same. I just have two switch. So I have from worst to first, I have Black Widow, Eternals. Then I have Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi. I'm twisting them all around. So Let me re-go. Worst to first. Black Widow, Eternals, Doctor Strange, Thor, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah.
And the only reason, for people that's going to ask, the only reason I switched Doctor Strange and Thor is because I honestly enjoyed this Thor movie more than Doctor Strange. And I like the acting more.
That's fair. I personally enjoyed both, but I think why I give Doctor Strange a slight edge is just that I was more interested in what was going on in Doctor Strange than I would say with Thor. And a lot of like the Illuminati aspects. I mean, they were there, but they got killed in like 5 minutes. But I would say Doctor Strange set up a lot more stuff going forward, whereas with Thor, I mean, the only thing they're setting up is a possible Avengers versus Gods fight, and we'll see that if we see that. But yeah, that's our rankings.
Okay.
Got any problems with it? You can see me.
Yeah, you can see me at goddamn. I ain't about to get y'all my address. Hell, I look like. The other get in our bag question. This is. I'm not about to do that one. Someone said it's Thor built to carry solo movies. I guess you can.
Is Thor built to carry solo movies? I mean, he's done it.
Yeah,
with Ragnarok.
Yeah,
that's so he has the capability.
Yeah, I was like, for me, it's the same. I was like, yeah, he's doing it right now.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I'm about to say yes because he's done it before and he can do it again.
The last one is this is from Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. He gonna be at DreamCon with us this week. He said, if you and Dana had a fight right now. It's more to this question. Who is winning? He said you get to choose the powers from one of your favorite anime characters. He said, but you can't choose people like Goku, Naruto, like those one hitter quitter. You can't choose the one hitter quitters. Niggas. Yeah. So, do you want to you want to just do any anime, or do you want to break it down to like we choose a certain anime and we choose a power from there?
For the sake of this conversation, we can do any anime.
Okay.
And I guess I'll start. So if we're excluding basically
the big
threes and
it's just one hitter quitters.
One hitter quitters.
So like no Goku, no Sailor Moon, no Goku, no Saitama, no goddamn the nigga from Gurren Lagann or Gurren Lagann, no goddamn Rimuru from Slime. Those, the people. Yeah. Goddamn.
I would say for me, I'd have to go with either a stand and probably Star Platinum, or I'd have to go with the powers of like being an Esper for Mob.
An Esper.
So probably like psychic powers and shit like that.
This nigga choosing a stand. Bro. Yeah. So I'd have to use a stand to beat you. Are we using that? Are we using that factor? Or
just I'm just saying like whatever whatever anime you think, like whatever power you think will whoop my ass.
Nigga. I'm gonna say two. I'm using goddamn Whitebeard.
Oh my god!
I'll call it a fucking earthquake, nigga. Fuck, I look like
that's a one hit quitter. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he got one hit quit. No, he got 30 niggas. He got jumped to die. All right. I was gonna say him or you seen Black Clover, right? Or have you? No.
Nah.
I was gonna say
I've seen some, but not.
Okay, I will use Whitebeard. I was gonna say Yami. He's a captain, but that nigga got this. Okay. Bear with me. That nigga got this move. It's called Dark Dimension Slash. That nigga cut through dimensions.
Oh my god!
And he can create a black hole.
But Star Platinum can stop time, so I can stop you from doing that and whoop your ass in 5 seconds.
You think so? It sound good.
Yes.
You got to see me coming, nigga.
Star Platinum can move at the speed of sound.
Nigga, I move at the speed of light.
Your point?
Okay. Then let's do. Okay, so you said mob or no? Okay, Star Platinum OP. If you start Platinum, I'm gonna use Giorno, nigga.
Giorno's stand is not good.
Nigga, Giorno, I don't even know his stand. I haven't reached there. I just seen this nigga. I just seen this nigga on rankings. They said this nigga could solo a lot of shit.
I mean, let me not say his stand's not good because that's kind of outlandish. But his stand is not on the same level as Star Platinum.
And why all these rankings? I never see Star Platinum by CG or no.
Because Star Platinum, they have to nerf Star Platinum because Star Platinum is outside of the world, the strongest stand, and they have to nerf him because like after part 3, it's not about Jotaro no more. Like and then you don't really see him until maybe like part 6 because obviously his daughter's in there, but that's really why, because niggas know he has the strongest stand in the world.
Sound good.
But they don't like saying it.
It's going to sound even better when I use that goddamn quake fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, how about we're going to do this. It's going to be real fast. You like One Piece.
Yeah.
Choose a nigga from One Piece.
So
that's obvious.
Fruit?
That's obviously
okay,
not.
So no,
that's not a goddamn.
So no Luffy and no Yonko.
Damn. Yeah, no Yonko, no Luffy.
Okay.
I know who I'm choosing. Oh, for real. I got 2.
Do they have to have a devil fruit?
Nah, just any like the niggas. They got powers like shit.
Okay,
Sanji can make his foot boil.
I would say I go with my nigga Jinbei.
Jinbei? Okay.
Yeah, get that fisherman karate on your ass.
You know who I'm gonna use? Fujitoro, the admiral with gravity.
Oh,
that nigga. Hey, that nigga's a dog.
That nigga is OP.
But okay, I won't use the admiral because we said no Yonkos, and admirals are practically Yonkos.
Oh,
They not, but they could be. Fujitoro could definitely be a Yonko if he wanted to.
Yeah, because I was about to say if you using him, I'm using Kizaru, the nigga with who's the light one.
Yeah, that nigga. Oh, you use Kizaru, nigga. I'm using wow, why did I Marco?
Nah, Kizaru is
Mark. You remember when Marco kicked that nigga during Marineford, and that nigga flew.
Kizaru was bullshitting. Kizaru be bullshitting though. Let's stop acting like he don't be bullshitting. The nigga, cause the nigga is moving.
That nigga was scared. That nigga was scared of Ben.
Okay, cause he knew
Ben was about to shoot that nigga head off.
Yeah. Cause he knows something about Ben that we don't.
Yeah, he definitely do. Cause I was like, nigga, this nigga got a pistol. You scared of him?
Hey, clearly he can do something we can. He can't defend against. But yeah, outside of him, I'm going with my nigga Jinbei.
Okay, I fuck with it. Really, I would have chose Doflamingo or Crocodile, but Crocodile would definitely lose to Jinbei because it's water. So
yeah.
Then he'll get packed up. Unless he just got to jump on Jinbei and they on land.
Dude, you ain't gotta be by sea to use Fishman Karate, nigga.
Nigga gonna use some tea.
10,000 fist.
Use some damn tea. But yeah, that's how I think it'll be a draw depending on who we choose. We'll debate more about this at DreamCon.
Yeah,
we'll have a full episode dedicated to who would whoop whose ass. But yeah, that's pretty much for this episode, man. Talked about Thor: Love and Thunder. Gotta get in the bag questions, and yes, we will be at DreamCon. We will be there all 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you see us, fuck with us. If you see us and you don't fuck with us, well, shit, fuck you. Nah, it's all good. Yeah, we're gonna be at different events. We'll say hi to people, all that jazz, making videos.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but appreciate you guys listening to us and rocking with us this episode. Make sure you guys Rate us a 5-star. Make sure you guys share us on all platforms. Make sure you guys are sharing our social medias, following those, staying up to date on those. We are planning on making those a lot liver, a lot more pleasant to look at.
Yeah,
a lot more. Right now, it ain't looking too good, but it's something we can build on. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys are watching our TikToks. We got more of those to come.
Yes, sir.
You know, y'all like seeing our faces. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But make sure y'all rate us a 5-star again on all listening platforms. With that being said, it's been your boy Dana Dane,
your boy Feeq,
and we out.
Peace.
Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in the ass, my crew. Yeah, I'm stepping with a fat, keeping all of the hoes on mute. Pull up park, could be yellow in a brew. 48 for a quick burst. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cue. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cup. Chris make juice to the drop like ink. Chain came with a clean plate, came with a sink. The Parator came with a mate. Tricones white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. Cellular right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Play-Doh. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a basic called making Alfredo. I put a bag on a hold my payroll. I get active at night, then I lay low. The salmon was breaded with panko. Drunk in my soup, I believe it was Mako. I got my Soviet clutch in the Draco. You said it was bacon, we taking your cake though. I got the tree like a poplar. Banco. Up in that Tim, ain't no hang though. Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the